guys, it's Nicole and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you some orchids that I got from Sunset Valley Orchids. They had a customer appreciation event and there were a couple of orchids that I had wanted. And this is after going to the orchid festival. So I got a couple of Cattleyas and I got a few Dendrobiums. So I'm going to walk you through these new additions. The box was a little dinged up, but overall everything arrived in good shape. They packed it 2 per little bundle, and overall I'm happy with how everything came out. It is starting to get a little cooler, so I do have one more box coming and then I'll be done with ordering orchids for the year. So I'm going to show you this and then you'll see another video. But with that said, let's jump right in. So the first orchid that I got was the Catlia Pekka Viensis. So this is a cross between the Catlia schilleriana crossed with the Catlia eclandiae. This one's supposed to look like a very large eclandiae flower on this one. It's got a nice new growth coming through. So hopefully, I don't know if it's large enough to bloom, but this should be a good one. As you guys know, I really like eclandiae hybrids, so I've been collecting them. I've got the hippodamia and a couple of crosses that I look forward to growing. So this one should be nice with a nice big flower. And it's supposed to maintain a small size, yet have a nice larger flower from the schilleriana parentage. So I look forward to seeing this one. Up next, we've got a Sofrolio Catlia hybrid between the SLC Angel Eyes and Catlia Caudebec Marty's orchids. As you can see from the picture, this is a very spotted orchid. This one is the Caudebec on the screen. It's going to have pink flowers with amethyst pink spots. However, the cross is pink, will have a pink and lavender flaring on the petals as well. So I'm curious to see how this comes out. I really like the spotted blooms along with the flaring. So I got a couple of these, so I'm very curious to see how these guys come out. Supposed to bloom a couple times per year, so this should be a good one to the collection. Up next, we have an Australian Dendrobium, and I did not actually order this one. I ordered the Dendrobium aggregatum, and SVO sent me this to replace that. It's very different, but it's sort of pretty. So this one is a cross between the Rubin culminaris crossed with the Dendrobium Victorian Regency. So this orchid has a lot of influence from the Dendrobium tetragonum. I don't have too much experience with these kinds of orchids, but the flowers are supposed to be very yellow with dark red stripes along the margins of the petals. Supposed to be very starry shaped. Supposed to also stand at 10 inches tall, so it won't be too big. And it'll have about a dozen or so flowers. So this should be a nice one. All right, guys, I'm really excited about this hybrid. This is the reason I ordered it. So this is a Catlia hybrid that's a cross between the Catlia leopoldii cerulean crossed with the Catlia Pittiae cerulean best blue. So I'm so excited to see how this could come out. This is going to be an orchid with blue spotted flowers. I think this one's going to come out pretty unusual. I love spotted flowers and I also really enjoy cerulean orchids, so this should be a pretty nice one. The size of this orchid is pretty small. I don't know if the leopoldii is pretty small or the Pittiae is also tiny, but if this takes 2 or 3 years to bloom, I don't care. This is going to be worth it. It's a nice one. Moving on to the next orchid, we have a Bolara hybrid. So a cross between the Brasso Lelio Catlia and an Epi Catlia is called Bolara. So this one is a cross between the BLC Love Sound Dagashima crossed with the Epi Catlia Kyoguchi diamond orchids. So this orchid is supposed to be very fragrant. It's supposed to have yellow flowers with red striping in the lip as well. And because of the Epicatlia parent, this is supposed to have a lot of blooms. Now this orchid's supposed to stay small as well, so I picked it up because it's an orchid that can start flowering in a 3-inch pot, mature in a 4-inch pot, but you're going to get a lot of flowers and they're supposed to be very fragrant. So lots of potential here. We have a sheath as well. Really excited if this starts blooming from there, so I can't wait to see it. Moving on to the next orchid, we've got the Lelio Cattleya Topaz Impact. So this is a cross between the LC Mildred Reeves Orchid Glade crossed with the BLC Love Sound Dogashima. So this has the same parent as the last orchid. This one is sort of a semi-alba Cattleya. So it's going to have bright white flowers along with the yellow flowers of the Love Sound Dogashima cross. I got this one for my mom, and the picture above will show one of the crosses when it's in bloom. She wanted a sort of lighter orchid with a red lip, so I thought this would be a good fit. This is a really cute one, and it's going to stay small. All right, moving on to the next orchid, we've got the Dendrobium willat Klausner Supernova. So this is a cross between the Regal Gillison SVO crossed with the Dendrobium Aussie Parade Carrot Splash. So this is a really, really nice orchid. This is the one that I actually picked for myself. I did get an extra Aussie Dendrobium, but I saw a picture of this one, and I liked that it has a lot of flowers as well. It's supposed to mature at 10 inches tall. I hear that this can also be fragrant, and it's going to have starry yellow and red flowers. Now this one looks in really good shape. It's got a new growth coming in. This orchid looks very healthy. It almost looks like some of my Lotoria Dendrobium types. I don't have much experience with these kinds of Dendrobiums, but this one also has a lot of tetragonum in its parentage, so we'll see how it grows. Next up, we have a Sofrolio Cattleya hybrid between the Fire Fantasy Royalty and the Mem Evelyn Paquette Hotspots. When you guys see the blooms, you'll see exactly why I'm so excited for this orchid. So keeping on with the theme of spotted flowers on very flared petals, we've got a very unusual cross here with a yellow and sort of peachy orange bloom along with a golden orchid with your traditional bronze spotting. Now, I don't know what this orchid's going to look like, but I picked it up because it just looks so unusual, and I'm so curious to see how this blooms. Now, we've got 2 new growths coming in. I don't know if this will bloom. I have experience with SVO where sometimes they'll be ready to bloom right away. Otherwise, sometimes it takes a year or 2 years to bloom, so we'll see how quickly this one blooms, but this is going to be a stunner. So that is it. I hope you guys like my haul. Let me know down in the comments below if you also ordered from SVO from their last sale as well. I'm so excited to see these bloom, especially the spotted flared crosses that I got and the Leopoldii cross. I can't wait to see those. I have 1 more box of orchids coming. Otherwise, that's going to be the last order that I have for the entire year. I've made room for all of these orchids. However, I'm starting to run out of space. I'm considering adding another shelf just because my Cattleyas basically need it and they're growing nice and big. And I really, really like my Cattleya orchids. Otherwise, I think that's it. I've got a lot of orchids that haven't bloomed yet that are almost there. So they're about to bloom for the first time. And I think as we head into winter, I think some of them will say hello for the first time. Anyway, guys, we are in fall here in New York City, so things are starting to cool down. And I will have a bloom update video ready for you guys in the next couple of days. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more orchid content. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.